Thank you very much for your kind introduction. And yeah, I'm Sunny, Director of Thailand of Hong Kong Trade Development Council. So in this morning, we had a very fruitful session from the distinguished panel to show, okay, the specifics of workings of licensing. So now in this session, I attempt to look a step beyond that, focusing on the India market. So suppose if you are successful in the India market, what's next? Then you would like to go global. And in this session, I would like to give you like a macro picture of what it is for licensing in the global picture, and how to, in terms of how to do it. I will ask Mr. Rajesh Brigade to go for it. Okay, so can we change the slide, please? Yep. So my presentation will be divided into three parts. First, I would like to briefly explain, okay, what will the consumer market look like? Secondly, what should we do in response? And last but not least, how can we do it? So let's start it. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay, this is research by PricewaterhouseCoopers. It talks about Asia's retail market. Obviously, there has been a huge growth from 2007 and up to 2014. China is taking the lead with a lot of growth there, and followed by Japan, and then India. India has shown a very high growth as against the mature market of Japan. So all these adding together means that the consumer market in Asia will be much bigger, and thus it will create a lot of opportunities for us. So the next slide, please. Yep. Okay, although there are many more opportunities, but when you smell opportunities, many people will come in, like you, right? Then it also means that there will be more competition. Not just looking at foreign businesses coming into Asia, but also some local, homegrown Indian big giants will also face competition. Just like in the slide, like Reliance, sometimes they need to close some stores. Tata needs to close some stores. I mean, foreign giants like Carrefour also need to close down stores. So that means that the competition is quite keen despite the opportunities. Then what should we do? Next slide, please. Okay, according to the grand strategies from the Harvard Business School, Mr. Michael Porter. So there are two generic strategies to survive competition. Number one is you be a cost leader. So you drive your costs so low that your competitors cannot run their business, and then you win. So number two is differentiation. You offer something different from your competitors, so that the consumers feel that, oh, well, I'm willing to pay a premium to buy your products. So that's differentiation. So any one of you think that you can do your products cheaper than China? Please raise your hand. Oh, okay, excellent. Okay, great. Can I just finish this first, and I can learn more from you, and perhaps you can share with your fellow Indian businessmen how to beat China's costs. Okay, but for most of us, it's difficult to beat China's costs, so we need to differentiate, right? And to differentiate, licensing is a good way. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so let's see licensing in India. As of 2013, entertainment, can we go back one slide, please? And the next one. For India, licensing of entertainment and characters takes the biggest market share, 40%, and followed by fashion. But in terms of growth, corporate trademark and brands are rising. So this is more or less the licensing picture. So if you want to win in the domestic market, these numbers, you can take reference. Where are the areas of growth? Okay, next slide, please. So looking at the greater picture for Asia in terms of licensing, then India has pretty good growth in the past few years. And in 2013 to 14, it grew by 6.5%. But also like to draw your attention to another set of figures, which is the growth of the Greater China market. So it grew at 8% from 2013 to 2014, and it's the biggest market after. Can we go back 2 slides, please? Yeah. So it takes a big market share. So it's almost 10 times the market size of India. So if you are successful in the Indian market, perhaps the next target within Asia that shares similar culture with you, shares the same value, than the Greater China market. Can we have the next slide, please? So green gold, I'm sure that in the previous session, you know from Mr. Samir Jan about his company, green gold also came to Hong Kong to expand their business internationally. So next slide, please. Okay, so in terms of Greater China and the market, they're also very similar. Entertainment and character takes the biggest market share, followed by fashion. Next slide, please. Okay, so then how do we start? I think a good way would be starting through Hong Kong. I think a lot of you may be concerned about, okay, the intellectual property protection in China. So, well, if we have actually some audience also raise this concern of, okay, how do I protect my brand so as to make it unique? So I'm very glad that you're already very conscious of protecting your brand. In China, you see, it's also a very big country. There are also some businesses who may not follow good business practice. They try to copy from others. Then Hong Kong comes into play. Why? Is that actually for Hong Kong's legal system, which is the same as India, it's follow common law system, but Hong Kong court rulings are enforceable in China. So there are only a few criteria to have this. Number one, it must be a B2B transaction, like a licensing transaction. Number two, it's been written in the contract that Hong Kong will be the exclusive jurisdiction to try the case. And number three, it's a final and conclusive judgment. So with this Hong Kong court rulings, you have this document, you can actually go to a court in China and enforce your claim. So in case some Chinese companies are infringing your intellectual property, you can sue them in Hong Kong, and then you get a court ruling and get your compensation in China. So this is a recent development, which is very useful for foreign businesses trying to target the mainland market. And with the next slide, please. Okay, so you may think that, oh, okay, well, China is a greater market, but actually Hong Kong is also a big market in terms of licensing. This chart shows the market size of licensing in various Asian countries. You can see that in 2013, the licensing market in Hong Kong is worth 29 crore US dollars. So if you look at other ASEAN countries, such as Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, and Malaysia, actually Hong Kong is the sum of them, excluding Thailand, which is worth only 2 crore US dollars. So Hong Kong's market size in licensing is actually the size of Malaysia, Philippines, and Indonesia combined. So it's not a small market. And as everyone knows, Hong Kong is very easy to do business. So I think that if you have got a mature character in India, then perhaps the next step, you can consider the Hong Kong market, which Hong Kong also has quite a big India diaspora. Next slide, please. So lastly, okay, well, we've got all these background data, macroeconomic information. Next, what do we start? Where do we start? Actually, you can start from the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. So who are we? We're established by the Hong Kong government in 1966 to promote international trade. So the special thing about us is that we don't only promote Hong Kong, we promote you as well. What our objective is that you come and use the Hong Kong platform, and then we match you with the whoever buyers or partners you would like to meet. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so how do we do it as HKTDC? We have 40 offices worldwide, and we bring those buyers from either US, EU, Japan, Australia, Africa, and India. So from India, actually we bring about, I think, nearly 12,000 buyers from India, either to go to Hong Kong to sell the goods, to buy products, look for partners every year. And our budget is quite big. We have 1,385 crores rupees every year to do promotion. So actually we're spending all that much. It's actually to serve you. So if you miss it out, then well, other people will make use of the platform. Okay, this is the end of my presentation right now. I would now like to pass it on to Mr. Rajesh Baget to explain specifically how to tap the licensing opportunities through Hong Kong. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sunny. I think Sunny has briefed you quite well about the Hong Kong advantage, as well as what we at Hong Kong Trade Development Council can do for you. Basically, I would like to brief you on how you can seize this business opportunity in the licensing market and what HKTDC can do for you. The Hong Kong Trade Development Council organizes two key events in the licensing field. One is the Hong Kong International Licensing Show and the Asian Licensing Conference. Both of these are held in the month of January. The Hong Kong International Licensing Show is the largest of its kind in Asia. We have over 318 exhibitors from 18 countries and 19,700 visitors from 108 countries and regions. More than 800 brands and properties are displayed in this show, and we actually conduct business matching activities for 500 of them and 500 business matching for about 150 exhibitors. You know, the advantage of Hong Kong Trade Development Council is that whenever you take part in any of our activities, we actually matchmake you and with potential brands or with potential buyers. So this particular fair, you see there are a lot of thematic zones. We have a thematic zone on the art licensing section, the lifestyle and fashion section, the sports licensing, the creative gallery, and play and learn. Over and above this, we also have a very strong IP trade center. So you can actually learn how to protect your IP using our trade center. This will give you a brief idea about our exhibitor profile. You see there are a lot of companies from Hong Kong, the Chinese mainland, Japan, Korea, Thailand, UK, Australia, Taiwan, Malaysia. So you have a fairly large international presence in our trade fair. Next, please. In terms of visitors, from 108 countries, you can have buyers coming from all parts of the world. Next. And our next show is going to be from the 11th to the 13th of January. And there are a lot of concurrent events happening also at the same time. We have the stationery fair, we have the toys and games fair, we have also the baby products fair. So you will find a lot of activities around the licensing show which will be useful to you, and you will be able to find potential partners. Our next event is, of course, the Asian Licensing Conference, which, as I mentioned earlier, is also the biggest in Asia, with over 1,200 participants from 23 countries and regions. And we have 30 plus speakers, internationally renowned speakers during this event. And it's also concurrently held around the same time. Next. So we have, as I mentioned, 36 top-notch speakers and also 150 global licensors and 30 global licensing agents in our show, the last show. And these are just some of the speakers. As I mentioned, all of them are internationally renowned speakers. Next. One more. Yeah, this will give you an idea about the audience profile. A lot of participants from all over the region. And as you can see, the number of audiences are growing year by year. We have now almost crossed 1,200. And over and above this, we also organize a lot of side events. Function. We have award functions, the Lima Award function, the Asian Licensing Award function. We conduct a lot of networking events also, where you will be able to network with key people in that in the conference. And our next event is going to be from the 11th and 12th of January. So I hope to see many of you in either of the two events. Thank you very much.